Hi everyone, this is Miss Lamekta. Today I'm going to be talking to you about being healthy. So first, I want you to take a few seconds to think about what it means to be healthy. Oftentimes what comes to my mind when someone says, "Are you healthy?" or talks about being healthy are things like eating healthy and exercising. These are definitely two common factors that people think about when talking about being healthy. So today we will cover eating healthy, exercising, as well as how to keep your mind healthy. So first, let's start by talking about how to be healthy in terms of your eating. So, can anyone name the 5 main food groups that you should be consuming to have a balanced, healthy diet? Ready, go. Okay, so as middle schoolers, you should be able to name all 5. I created a little visual to help us see the 5 food groups and hopefully help to explain what foods fall into these food groups, as well as how much someone your age in middle school should be consuming in these different categories. Here we go. So My Plate, which is on choosemyplate.gov, helps you to better have a visual of the different 5 food groups and the amounts. So let's start at the bottom. We have our proteins. So our proteins are things like our meats, nuts, and eggs. And they recommend 5 ounces of proteins in your daily diet. Next, you have your fruits and your vegetables. So your fruits, 2 cups a day. Same with vegetables, consuming 2 cups a day of vegetables. At the top, we have our dairies category. So that's your 3 cups a day of dairy, and your grains category. So in that category, you should be consuming 5 to 6 ounces. And I'll go over what it looks like or what foods fall into these categories in terms of the amount that equals out to 5 to 6 ounces, because I know that can be a little bit confusing. So these are your 5 food categories that you should be thinking about as you're picking your foods throughout the day. Again, if you want to learn more, choosemyplate.gov is a great resource to learn more about foods and the food categories. So to make this a little bit more interesting, I pulled some foods around my house that I consume on a daily or as snacks that fall into the different food categories. So we'll start with our grains. So we have whole grain bread at our house, which is good for toast or making sandwiches on. I used to eat a lot of white bread and realized that whole grain bread is so much better for you. It has more nutrients. So we use it for sandwiches and toast and things of that nature. Another grain that I go to for a snack is my Smart Food white cheddar popcorn. So popcorn is a little bit more healthy for you than chips. It has a little less carbs and sugar and more protein, and you can oftentimes eat more of it. So again, this is in your grains category as a possible snack. Next, we'll move to dairy. So one of my favorite dairy snacks is cheese. So this is just a pack of string cheese we have around our house that you can eat with lunch or as a snack in the afternoon. One of my favorites. Next, we have our fruits and vegetables categories. So in the fruits category, I like to keep a lot of apples around the house. Apples are good for breakfast time with peanut butter or in the afternoon as a snack. One of my favorite summer fruits to keep around the house is pineapple. Pineapple is a yummy, sweet, tasty treat to have in the summertime. One of my favorites. Vegetables, one of my favorites are, or a couple of my favorites are cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots. And we have a small garden at our house just to, in order to grow our own vegetables and keep them in the house throughout the summertime. And I'll show you that a little bit later. And lastly, we have our protein category. So our meats and eggs and nuts One of my favorite snacks to have around is trail mix. This trail mix has peanuts and almonds in it. Great source of protein, better for you than chips to have around the house. And it even has a few sweet treat little M&Ms in it. And lastly, in terms of having a good healthy diet, is important to remember to stay hydrated. Waters and Gatorades are my two that I go to in terms of what I'm drinking throughout the day. Try to stay away from pops and sugary juices. Next, we'll talk about exercising. So exercising is the second component to being healthy. There are three main forms of exercise. So you have your aerobic or your cardio exercises. For those of you who enjoy running or playing sports, swimming, dancing, these are all things that get your heart pumping and your breath and your breathing going. These are all your cardio things. Great source of exercise. Strength training, that's the second form of exercises. So those of you who like to lift weights, go to the gym, have some weights at your house, do bicep curls, triceps, work on your back muscles, your legs. Another great form of exercise that helps prevent injury is also in supporting your joints as well. Lastly, maybe there's some of you out there that enjoy doing yoga or stretching. This is also exercise. Great for your body and your mind. So I want you to think about, what do you do for exercise? Do you go on walks? Do you do some of these sports? Do you like to stretch? Do you bike? Do you like to swim? And think about having 60 minutes of exercise in your daily schedule. So it's just all about being out, being active, and finding things that you love to do and enjoy. Some of my favorites are soccer, biking, and walking right now. Lastly, we're going to talk about what it means to keep your mind healthy. So, what does that mean to you? So, keeping your mind healthy, to me, makes me think about things that make me happy. So things that bring joy to my life, or things that help bring peace or relaxation. So it's important to have these things in our daily routine as well, to keep us centered and to keep us happy and enjoying life. A couple things that I brought to show you that I enjoy doing that do this for me are reading. I often like to read in the morning time as just like a peaceful, quiet thing to do. I love looking for new books and getting into the stories and the characters and this, what's going on in the book. I also enjoy coloring. Coloring is something I often do in the afternoon to kind of relax or recenter. I like to color these really detailed mandala pictures or nature pictures. Pick the colors out. Sometimes I just color to color. Other times I hang it up where I can see it when I'm done. Also a very relaxing activity for me. And then lastly, what some of you also might like to do is listen to music. So oftentimes I listen to music throughout the day as I'm doing my daily activities or as I'm exercising. It helps kind of keep my mind at peace, keep my thoughts from running. So music can be a great healing tool or just something that keeps you relaxed as well. The last part of this video, as I promised earlier that I want to show you, is another one of my hobbies that kind of ties all three of these components of being healthy together. So eating healthy, exercising, getting some exercise in the yard, as well as keeping my mind healthy. And that would be gardening. So let me take you outside to show you our little garden we have at our house that helps me to stay and be healthy. So this is our vegetable garden that we planted this year. My husband and I chose to do just 2 different types of vegetables. So we have tomatoes over here, a couple different varieties. You can see they're getting bigger. Soon they'll have the actual tomato fruit on them. About midsummer, they'll start producing a ton of tomatoes. And then the second vegetable that we chose to grow this year are cucumbers, another one of our summer favorites. So these are more like vines. They will grow into the yard and again produce quite a few cucumbers for our summer dishes. Lastly, I like to have flowers around. They bring me happiness as well. So there you have it. There's our small little garden in our yard. I hope this encourages you to think about possibly doing a garden at your house. It's pretty easy and simple. You just need a space and some plants, and it really just takes some water, and hopefully the plants will produce you some fruits. All right, well, this concludes our session today about what it means to be healthy. I hope you learned something and took something away from this, and most importantly, thought about how to incorporate these different components of being healthy into your life. Until next time, see you later.